everybody, my name is Lord Hemingway, and today I am going to be showing you another ship that I built in Space Engineers. This is kind of the first big battleship. So this is nowhere near as big as my biggest ship, which is still the Queen Bee Carrier. But the point is, this is a whopping great destroyer. You can see the armament on this thing, you can see the sheer number of guns that it's got. If we work our way from the front to the back, we'll just go over a little bit of the let's go over the weaponry, because that's most of this is just weaponry. In the front here, as far as forward-facing weapons go, it has got these how many? 5 rocket launchers in the front, and then mirrored on the other side, it's got these 6. There's 3 on here, 3 on the other side. 6 Gatling guns. So that gives it quite a significant forward-facing firepower, and the only reason there aren't any turrets along here, this side, is because they were just going to get shot by these, and I couldn't be bothered to deal with all that. So I could have put some more up here. But one thing I'd like to point out with this ship is, as we go along, you'll see, due to the sheer number of guns, this thing has, as far as I know, none, if not very, very few weak spots, or blind spots, more to the point. So the entire design of this thing is for war, and we'll come back to this end in a minute, because I'd like to point that out. You can see along the top it has got a lot of turrets. Give me a second, I'll count them all. Right, so if I've counted that correctly, I've been round, counted all the its main turrets. It's got 15 Gatling guns and 9 missile turrets. So that's packing a punch. And these are orientated so that you've obviously got concentrated zones. So along this bottom section, you're going to have a lot of firepower on you. But really, the worst place to be is sort of off. If the top, and one of these sides can shoot you, you've got the most turrets shooting at once, and you're screwed. Is basically it. If we go further back, we've got here some hangar bay doors, which I can't open from the outside, so we're going to have to go in for them. And I'll talk to you when I get there. So this is actually the only viewpoint out of the ship, and as I said, this thing is built for war. So windows are classically a weak point on most ships. But you try getting a missile down there or something, and even if you do, before you hit the main cockpit, you've got to go through one layer of this sort of whatever this is thing, another layer of glass. Now you hit the layer of glass and you depressurize a lot of the interior, but you still got to hit it twice to get through, and the main cockpit, you'll see in a minute, won't be affected. And not only that, but from most angles you've got this whopping great, fin in the way, and it's really, really difficult to hit. Running back further along the side, you've got the main. These aren't really nacelles. These are kind of protection. They were kind of just an extra point to mount more guns to, and I thought it looked cool. Is basically it. You've got a lot of sideways thrusters on here. In fact, you've got more sideways thrusters than you do in most other directions. So if we come around the back, we've got, this is the main engine pod, and this thing isn't the fastest in the world. It's not. So you've got 4 big ones, 2 little ones. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's not meant to be. This is a whopping great juggernaut, if you will. But it's powerful. On the bottom, though, is different to the top, and what I've got is this sort of lower personal turret that I built. I don't know why. There wasn't really much point in it, except you can kind of concentrate 2 missiles and a Gatling gun, big ones as well, so not these little turrets, in one location on a ship. You've got to kind of line it up, but this thing's quite quick to rotate. The only thing is, it's got to be on the same. It's got to be a flat plane with the main ship, but that can be done with, gyroscopes. If we head on inside, and this is the other thing, the only entrance. Right, there are 2 entrances to this thing: the hangar and here. Now, I originally had three main three thrusters along here, but I decided actually this is a pretty good place to have a really well hidden, really difficult to hit door. If we go inside, so this does all pressurise. In fact, the inside is pressurised at the moment, and now everything's pressurised. So you can go inside. I've got cryo storage for 8 people, but I can imagine this thing actually having a rotational thing, so you could have 8 people in cryo and 2 people running the ship. I don't know. It's not. You wouldn't have a huge crew because really it's a gunship. It's got mostly automated turrets. But I might actually add in another more of a thing for more of the turrets to be manned. And this is the other thing, which means it's extremely difficult to destroy quickly. If you come in here, and both of these doors on these 2 sides are closed, then you've either got to go all the way through that grate, the window, and this window to depressurize the main cockpit bar. So you've got 4 people in here who would be able to operate the ship completely solo. So even if you depressurize the main section, yes, it's going to make it extremely difficult for them. You're not going to have any engineers, it's going to be difficult to make repairs, but the ship will still function. You can't hit the cockpit and suddenly the entire thing's shut down because, one guy is dead. The guy who's operating the entire ship. But on the inside, as I said, you've got an oxygen tank here. There's not a lot of oxygen storage, to be honest. It is just this tank, and that's probably not enough, actually. Now there's a new oxygen tank underneath this grate as well, so you've got 2 main oxygen tanks. Which is good. Hopefully you shouldn't be depressurizing much, and there's not going to be a huge amount of people in here, so you shouldn't have a problem. But still a good idea to have these oxygen tanks. In here, down here, you've got a med bay, you've got a, well, that's about it, isn't it? It's a med bay, a programmable block, and not much else, but it gives you somewhere to respawn, or sort of an RP mode. Heal. This is the other thing with this ship. It's extremely compact. You've got a jump drive, reactor, and the main cargo container this close together. Could be a bad thing if you manage to blow up the reactor. Then you've got access to both of these to attack them and all that sort of stuff. But I don't think so. I think it also makes it easier to protect it. And really, if somebody takes your main reactor, you're pretty screwed anyway. Let's go this way. Back down, we'll head towards the front. So on that side it's a med bay, on here it's just way up into the hangar. So you go here, there's nothing in here at the moment, and it's pretty small, and it's got this main piping rig in the middle, which is kind of in the way, but I don't care. It does, however, give the opportunity to have a Ripper class starfighter in here. 2, in fact. I've tested this. You can fit 2 Ripper class starfighters in here, and fit them in pretty comfortably. So not only does this ship have all these main guns on it, the big guns, the obliteration factor, you can also have 2 little starfighters in here to either go and investigate something, or oh, that's fun. You can either investigate something, or whatever you want to do, or fight along with it. So if you can deploy these before, if you're attacking, you can deploy these out. Then you've got 2 Ripper class and this big destroyer going in. Over there, that is interesting. I'll probably show you some footage of it now because I recorded that exact crash, and I found something interesting. The front of this ship is built. And I did this kind of on purpose. I realised what I was doing and kind of carried on. Because it's so thin, there's nothing in there except for piping and storage. So as a last resort, what this ship is capable of doing is just ramming into the enemy, and it will do some serious damage. But even more than that, if you've got these guns going off, these forward-facing guns going off, you're going to be punching a hole before you even get there. And then you're going to smash through that hole and you're going to be inside the ship causing absolute chaos. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then subscribe and like the video and subscribe to the channel, or whichever order you want to do it in. Just do it. I build more I'm building more ships, videos every Thursday and all that sort of stuff. So thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you all later.